everybody, welcome to the Wail How To Holiday Series. We're going to be working What Are You Doing New Year's Eve? What do you want more of? Are some tricky spots that we can work through together?
I think that I am maybe like pulling a little bit too much weight in the middle.
When you say middle, give me a phrase that we're talking about.
Maybe it's much too early in the game.
Yeah, let me hear that real quick. So let's just do that section. 1, 2, ready, and...
Maybe it's much too early in the game.
Okay, so you're wanting that maybe just to be a hair lighter.
I think I'm discovering like the difference between the soft recording of Ella's version versus what it would sound like in a room and with people.
Yeah.
I'm playing with weight and also volume.
Let's imitate an actual situation in which you might be in a lounge where you're on a mic. Okay? So I want you to actually just sing and imagine that this is your microphone and see how that adjusts your sound when you're just singing to your pretend mic here. Just on that same section. Here we go. Ready? And...
Maybe it's much too early in the game.
Good. Now, what if we split the difference between those two? Because I think it got you what you wanted on maybe, and then it does need a little bit more support to finish the phrase. Okay, so can we combo platter the support you were giving me on the first one with the intimacy of the microphone on the second?
Okay.
Are you ready? And...
Maybe it's much too early in the game.
Good, keep going. So now let's increase the volume on that a little bit. So let's assume that we're not in a mic'd place, that we're in a smaller cabaret that doesn't have that. So can you think, I want to increase that volume while maintaining that intimacy? So now when you're singing, it's increasing the volume, but imagining that really that you're basically you're auditioning for film. Okay? So let's imagine that it's for TV rather than for Broadway.
Okay. Maybe it's much too early.
That's the kind of sound that we're looking for. What I want to do is get a little more stability and support behind the but I thought I'd ask you just the same, simply because you're jumping up a third there. So can you do the whole thing for me on zzz, and think of it the same way we do a resistance machine at the gym, so that the core constantly feels like there is a slow compression happening. Ready? And... Now let's take that zh and the core increase that you felt and put the words on it with that same intensity that you just found with the zh.
Okay.
Map that along the way. Ready? And...
Maybe it's much too early in the game. But I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing?
And what's cool is now there's some juicy stuff just starting to come in on its own. So now I want to add a layer to it. So we've done the zh. Now I want you to imagine that you have a needle and thread, And now we're just going to work on connecting the vocal line a little more. So I want you to imagine on each phrase that you are pulling the thread through your fingers. Maybe it's much too early in the game. Then it come back. You're pulling it through the fingers. You're giving a little resistance, but you want a steady pull of that string.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here we go. Ready, and.
Maybe it's much too early in the game.
Nice.
Ah, but I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing
Well, that was awesome. How did that feel? Like, what did you notice?
I just felt more activated in my whole body and also here,
Yeah.
especially being postpartum.
Yeah.
Very helpful exercise.
Yeah. So let's find other ways that do that. So there's that one that does that. There's the zh that does that. There's also, you can do a push or a pull. Keep your arms straight, but imagine that you're pushing on something the whole time or that you're pulling on something the whole time. It's a light push or pull because what we don't want to do is have a secondary grip happening here. Just enough that you're feeling that engagement the whole time, okay? So whichever one felt like it engaged more, the push or the pull, try that.
Okay.
Ready, and.
Maybe it's much too early in the game. Ah, but I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing? I think that was just as activating as the sewing, but just in a different way in my body.
Let's take it off right now and see how much of it can retain now that we've activated it. Because sometimes when you just do simple activation things like that, the body will wake up and go, oh, that's what you need from me? Okay, and then it will start doing it. So now what I want to do is work a little style stuff. I want you to take this off of the words and allow yourself the freedom to let this be almost like you're washing the dishes and humming along on a da. And give yourself permission. You can use rubato here. It's like you can take time, just make sure you give time back. In addition to the da, we're gonna do a little bit of push-pull. Find places that you can kind of lean into the sound and then shimmer away from it.
Okay.
So how can we use Christmas terms? It's like a press and shimmer, but not press here.
Okay.
Okay. So using the words on the da and the press and the shimmer.
Okay.
Ready, and.
Da, 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 da,
Nice. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Good. I'm going to add a layer because I know that you can pick these things up. Now I want you to find places where you drop the larynx a little bit and give us a little more. Keep the da-da going and build on what you just did. Here we go. Ready, and. Nice. Okay, now let's put it back on the words. Same thing. Give me like all sorts of push-pull in there.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Ready, and.
Maybe it's much too early in the game. Ah, but I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing?
Keep going to the second next part. Under his arms.
Wonder whose arms belong to good in time.
Lovely. Okay, cool. So that's basically the structure of like section 1. So now let's go to this bridge and find some ways that we can maybe spice the bridge up a little bit or just give it some different textures or colors. And part of that you're already doing in your storytelling. But let's just see what we can find vocally to add some textures to it. So just give me a little bit of that bridge and then we'll go back and do some pieces. Here we go. Ready? And maybe I'm crazy to suppose I'll never be the one you chose out of 1,000 invitations you receive. Good. Let's go. Let's really play with the larynx and some lip protrusions on the to suppose and one you chose. So maybe I'm crazy to suppose. Give me old school crooner on to suppose, and then allow yourself to. If you were recording this in the 20s, how would you approach it? All right, here we go. Ready and. Maybe I'm crazy to suppose. Nice. I'd never be the one you chose out of 1,000 invitations you receive. Keep going. Oh, but in case I stand one little chance, here comes the jackpot question in advance. What are you doing, New Year's Eve? Lovely. What else do you want? That's really lovely.
I think I'm playing with different textures and thinking like, how bright do I want to go? How breathy do I want to go? And I try every time that I sing it to try to
Change
not
up a
have
little, yeah.
a set way of singing it.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. So you know what? We didn't really touch the beginning, so let's do that real fast. So what I would play with, just as a tool that you could play with, is anytime you get a repeated note, when the bells all ring and the horns all blow, like you could do bells, almost like a swing between the two, and then croon on ring. So to croon, when the bells all ring, it's very Barbra Streisand. When the bells all straight tone, then go close to the NG and then vibrate through the NG.
Yeah.
When the bells all ring and the horns all blow. Same thing. I would say 20% of it is the re, 80% of it is the
Okay. When the bells all ring and the trumpets blow and the couples we know are fondly kissing, will I be with you or will I be among the missing?
And I would do the same thing there. Will I be with you or will I be among the missing? Not every singer did it, but a lot of them did this sort of close to the consonant you can sing through. Will I be with you?
Will I be with you or will I be among the missing?
Yeah. Okay, so to recap what we've done today, and then we'll do a run through of it. In section 1, play with closing to the NG consonants, like straight tone, and then let the vibration, let the vibrato happen on the and then on basically on any held note. Let it be straight and then go into vibrate. Then in the next section, play with push-pull and play with your larynx position. And in the bridge, definitely play with the larynx position on the low notes. And then we come back in and circle back to our techniques from the second.
When the bells all ring and the trumpets blow and the couples we know are fondly kissing, will I be with you or will I be among the missing?
Maybe it's much too early in the game. Ah, but I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing, New Year's? New Year's Eve. Wonder whose arms will hold you good and tight when it's exactly 12 o'clock at night, welcoming in the new year. New Year's Eve. Maybe I'm crazy to suppose I'll ever be the one you chose out of 1,000 invitations you'll receive. Ah, but in case I stand one little chance, here comes the jackpot question in advance. What are you doing, New Year's? New Year's Eve.
Right, guys, so if you have any questions, please drop those in the comments. Also show Katie some love. Thank you so much, Katie, for singing for us today. And more to come. See you soon.